Today, I'm answering the question thousands of you are secretly asking. Can you really move to Europe in 2026 without a job offer and actually get a work visa? I analyzed the rules for work-related visas in whole Europe and found the best options. And I know it works because I came to Europe as non-EU citizen myself, and I've spent years studying the immigration laws in Norway and other European Union countries. So in this video, I'm going to break down all work-related visa opportunities for people who wants to move to Europe from outside of European Union. How it works, where it works, and most importantly, the tactics to get your visa so you can move to Europe even without a job offer. Alright, before I explain how you can move to Europe without a job offer, it's critical to understand what types of work visa exist in Europe, so we see which of them are feasible for you. And we also need to look at major changes in rules in 2026 for the whole European Union and see if it is becoming easier or harder to make a move. First, I want to say that European Union doesn't have one unified work visa, of course. Instead, there are EU-wide arrangements and national ones. The first one will be European Union Blue Card. This is work visa for highly skilled workers with a job offer meeting salary thresholds. Next will be national types of visa for skilled employed workers. This is the most common one and it requires a job offer. This type of visa usually result in a residence permit allowing to work. Job seeker visas allow entry to search for work, digital nomad or remote work visas. This one is for remote workers employed outside the host country. Seasonal worker visas for temporary jobs, intra-corporate transfers permits for managers, specialists transferred within a company, and other specialized schemes like visas for researchers, scientists, investors, entrepreneurs, au pairs, and volunteers. Before we talk about major changes that are coming, we need to understand how the immigration rules work in European Union. Let's break down the basics first. All countries that are active members of European Union must follow a set of regulations, directives, and recommendations that European Commission make and adjust every year. There are 4 countries that have it sweet because they have arrangements with European Union, but they have their own regulations and not obligated to answer to European Union Commission. Those countries are Norway, Iceland, Liechtenstein, and Switzerland. Sometimes countries want to opt out of EU programs, like for example Denmark or Ireland opted out of European Union Blue Card program. So basically countries can build their own laws and regulations based on those directives, but must implement all the basic points that European Union Commission makes. I hope that makes sense. And the first directive that European Union Commission made a long time ago is called Single Permit Directive. Recently, European Union Commission made an updated version and set a deadline for all European Union countries to implement these new rules by May 2026. And those improvements are simplified work permit applications, which means that in-country applications will be allowed. This is significant for people who already holding a valid residence permit from another purpose. So you don't need to return to your home country and can apply from within the European Union. Shorter processing time. That means that decision on work permit applications must be made within 90 days. Previously it was 4 months, also bureaucracy must be reduced. Allows easier employer changes. That means that single permit holders can change employers, occupation, and sector during the permit's validity without needing a completely new application. This will reduce dependency on the single employer, prevents exploitation, and will help workers to adapt to job market needs. Extends permit validity and flexibility. This means that permit holders can remain in the country during unemployment for a longer time, so they have better chances to find new job without losing legal status. Overall, permit duration will become longer and renewals will be made easier. So all this means that routines for getting a work visas will be simplified, you get more freedom to choose next employer, and longer time for the job search in case of termination. So by May 2026, after all the new rules get in full power, it will be definitely easier and faster for many to obtain a work visa in European Union. And before we move to the next chapter, I want to mention 2 services that genuinely made my life so much easier. Wise for banking and NordVPN for secure internet access. Wise is a hands down the best banking solution I found 3 years ago when I was moving from Norway. It's a European-based digital bank that gives you real multi-currency accounts, a debit card, and transfers at the actual mid-market exchange rate with tiny transparent fees. no ridiculous bank charges when I need to send my money from Norwegian account or get paid in different currencies. And pretty much every expert community I'm in, from Reddit to Facebook groups to digital nomad forums, recommend Wise as go-to option. And when I'm traveling or like now living in a new country, some government websites and banking portals are blocking access from foreign IP addresses. That's why NordVPN came into my life a couple of years ago. My husband is a software engineer and he himself named NordVPN as the best one. I use it to quickly connect to a server in Norway, and suddenly I can log in into all of these sites without any issues. It's fast, reliable, and gives me peace of mind knowing my connection is private. If you're an expat, digital nomad, or just deal with international money and online access, I honestly recommend both Wise for your finances and NordVPN for staying securely connected no matter where you are. I linked both services down below so it's easier for you to find. But do you need a job offer before you apply for European work visa? Usually for most schemes like Blue Card, National Skilled Visas, corporate transfers, seasonal workers, you will need a job offer. Only 2 work permits doesn't require it, and those are Job Seeker Visa. This type of visa allows you to enter the country, find work, and then convert to a work permit. And Digital Nomad Visa. This type of visa allows non-EU citizens to live in the country while working remotely for employers or clients outside the host country. Now let's break down which countries offers a job seeker visa in 2026 and what you need to do to get it. Job seeker visa is available only in 3 European Union countries, and those are Austria, Germany, and Spain. Requirements include points systems based on qualifications, experience, language skills, and age, proof of funds, health insurance, and recognized university degree. Here we can also add Netherlands, though they don't have a clear job seeker visa, but they have something called orientation year. This is a 1-year residence permit specifically designed for recent graduates and researchers from outside the European Union. It allows you to live in a country without a job offer while you search for skilled employment, start a business, or explore opportunities. Portugal was in this list up until the end of 2025, but right now they are replacing job seeker visa with skilled job seeker visa. This visa let you come inside the country without a job offer and stay for 120 days to search for employment. What will you need to do to apply for a job seeker visa? In each case, you will need to check eligibility. This is done on dedicated web pages of each country and will tell you if you have enough points to apply. If you qualify, you will need to download the form, fill it out, and gather all necessary documents. For each country, it will be more or less the same and includes your passport, birth certificate, qualification proofs, criminal record certificate, language certificate, English or local language at basic level, a bank account with sufficient funds to support yourself for a year or the duration of the job seeker visa, and health insurance, and in some cases accommodation proof. After you prepare all the documents, you need to book appointment with embassy in your home country, submit application, and wait for a decision. Now in Spain and Austria, you will need to hand documents in person in their embassies, and for Germany you can actually upload everything online, which makes it even easier. All countries have different time limits on their job seeker visas. In Germany and Spain it's 1 year, in Austria is 6 months, and Portugal, in case of new skilled worker visa, we have 4 months duration, and Netherlands have 1 year for their orientation year visa. Now, what other options do you have to come and live in Europe? Nicest one will be digital nomad visa. Here we have a broader choice of countries, and right now in 2026 there are 14 European countries that have this specific type of visa. This will be Croatia, Cyprus, Czech Republic, Estonia, Greece, Hungary, Iceland, Italy, Latvia, Malta, Portugal, Romania, Slovenia, and Spain. And for those of you who are feeling adventurous, Svalbard digital nomad visa. You will work as remote as it can be. Svalbard is archipelago very far north, technically attached to Norway. Very remote, very cold, and very expensive, but has a lot of tax perks and still technically a part of Europe. Requirements for digital nomad visa typically include proof of remote work, minimum income, health insurance, and accommodation proof. This type of visa is excellent for remote workers or freelancers in 2026 if you want to live in Europe. The only downside here is that you will need to show a significant income from your home country. The lowest monthly threshold for a salary right now has Italy, around 2,400 euros gross salary, and the highest will be Iceland with 7,000 euro, but that's not typical. Many countries will require way over national minimum wage, and even more if you're planning to relocate with family. Here in our list, we can also include independent contractor visa. This is a type of visa offered in Norway, Belgium, Germany, Netherlands, France, Czech Republic, Switzerland, and Finland. Technically, you don't need a job offer, but you do need to be self-employed or a business owner with local clients and meet a lot of other requirements. So if we look at all work visas available in Europe right now, which countries will have fastest and easiest entry for non-EU citizens in 2026? Based on current trends, official updates and reports from 2025, the top countries will be Germany, often ranked number 1 for skilled non-EU workers because of their opportunity card, Chancenkarte. They also have a EU blue card with short processing time because for high demand professions it's often 2 to 4 weeks and high approval rate. This country will be best for skilled professionals, and also they have a very easy family reunification process. The second country will be Netherlands. Their highly skilled migrant visa extremely fast process, often 2-4 weeks, and rules are transparent and bureaucracy is low. The blue card is fast for tech and engineering, and plus they have orientation year that I mentioned earlier that allows recent graduates to come for 1 year and search for a job. The third country will be Portugal. This one is very accessible. They have D3 visa for highly qualified with 1-2 months processing time, skilled job seeker visa available, plus digital nomad visa option. In general, Portugal has very affordable living and family-friendly country. The next country will be Ireland. This one has critical skill employment permit. They have fast approval, often weeks, and very high approval rates in reports. This country will be best for tech, pharma, and health professions, and the big bonus is that it's English-speaking country. The next country is Estonia. This one frequently called one of the easiest overall. So they have high acceptance rate, more than 87% in recent year, digital process with online applications, plus they have a European Union blue card and startup digital nomad options. And the last country will be Sweden. They have a very straightforward and quick process time if you already have a job offer, and it will be best for people who want to work in tech, engineering, and health. Sweden offers excellent work-life balance, as another Nordic countries, of course. In the beginning, I mentioned European blue card as one of the work visa options. But what is it really, and what are requirements to get it in 2026? The European Union blue card is a work residence permit for highly qualified non-EU workers. It's usually valid for 1-4 years with path to permanent residency and mobility across European Union countries. What is required to get it? First, you will need to have a university degree or over 5 years relevant experience in some countries. Binding job offer at least 6 to 12 months. A salary threshold, typically it's 1.5 times national average. And here you can see what countries offer blue card in 2026 and current salary thresholds for all of them. Feel free to pause to get a good look. What salary or income do you need to qualify for most EU work visas in 2026? This varies widely. For EU blue card, as we just seen, it will be from 45 to 70,000 euros annually, lower in Eastern Europe and South countries, and higher in Central Europe and Nordic countries. For basic skill work permits, there are no strict minimum, but must be sufficient enough to support yourself and the family if you bring one. For digital nomads, you will need in average from 2,500 to 4,000 euros a month. And for job seeker visa, you will need to have sufficient funds for the duration of the visa, which vary, but in average 1,500 euro for each month you are living in a host country. For most work permits, you can bring your family with you. Just keep in mind that the salary threshold will be higher then. The job seeker visa and the seasonal worker visa will not allow you to bring your family with you because this is a kind of temporary visas. And in case you are aiming for a single permit, so basic work visa, you will need to live and establish yourself in the country before you can bring your family. The EU blue card and a digital nomad visa will be the most favorable because family can apply to join you immediately after you got permit yourself. If you want to bring your family with you, the requirements will be to present a proof of relationship, accommodation, and sufficient income to cover for everyone and health insurance. Which professions or skills are in the highest demand for non-EU work visas in 2026? From current reports, we can see that the highest demand by professions will be healthcare, so nurses, doctors, carers, IT and software developers, engineering, mechanical and electrical, construction, so builders, electricians, plumbers, transport, truck drivers, hospitality and agriculture, this is more seasonal works. These shortage occupations get the easiest approvals and lower salary thresholds. The processing time to get your work visa will vary based on what type of visa you choose, but in average you can expect 1 to 3 months for most types. And with the new rule coming into full power from May 2026, you can expect the processing time will be less than 90 days. Rejection rate for non-EU work visas right now is about 30%, and often because of avoidable mistakes. The most common mistakes are incomplete documents, missing forms, so double check all the papers and get official translations and apostille. Weak evidence of salary, income or funds for the stay, so you better provide bank statements, pay slips or blocked accounts showing self-sufficiency. False information, problems with criminal record, fake job offer. Always use legitimate job offers from verified sources like EURES and be honest. The next reason will be expired, damaged or outdated application forms. Use current forms from official websites. Look that your passport is valid for at least 6 months before applying for a work visa. So to recap, now we know what types of work visas are out there, what new rules European Union Commission made for 2026, which type of visas do not require a job offer and what countries offer them. Also the easiest and fastest work visa countries, what is the blue card, what are income thresholds for different types of work visas, shortage professions, processing time and common rejections. If you have more questions or want to share your recent experience, welcome in the comment section and I see you in the next one.